it's Linda here. Thanks so much for joining me today as I make 5 cards with the new Concord and 9th Birthday Basics Turnabout stamp. I absolutely love these turnabouts, and now you get this acetate piece with the printed turnabout on it, so you can lay it down on your jig, whether you've bought the jig or made one like I have out of craft cardstock there. You just lay it down on your diagonal cross, and then you can lie the stamp down over the top of the printed acetate piece to make sure all the little images line up. So then they're going to be stamped perfectly each turn of the turnabout. So you'll end up with the cupcake icing on top of the cupcake base and so on, and nothing will be out of alignment. So some great new additions to the turnabouts from Concord and 9th. So my jig is handmade. Only thing about it that's not great is I can't clean it off like the ones that you will buy now that are made of that cleanable sort of plastic. So I showed you all my colours there that I'm using for this card, and the colours today are Party Dress, Limoncello, All That Jazz and Samba. So just started off there with Samba, which is a gorgeous red colour. And now moving on to the Limoncello, you see I need to turn my turnabout, got the little numbers up in the corner that I just pointed out to you. Then the third colour I'm doing is Party Dress, and you will work out as you stamp that stampings 1 and 3 will line up and stampings 2 and 4 will line up. So here's All That Jazz, and it's my 4th turn, and I'm just showing you how everything lines up. And this is the card that I've made using this stamped piece. I used a beautiful die here to do the camouflage die cutting, as they call it. And it's a Simon Says Stamp Present Shaker die, and I put lots of layers of craft foam underneath. And on to card number 2, and this time the 4 colours are Versacolor Silver, and then from Catherine Pooler it's Grass Skirt, Fiesta Blue and Something Borrowed. So just stamping with the Versacolor Silver first here. It's a lovely little ink colour, this one. It's quite shiny, but I do need to stamp all those little pieces twice with that tiny little ink pad. So I've sped everything up so you don't have to take forever to watch me make these, but I just thought you might like to see what colours I combined for these cards today. So you can see there I've just used the Fiesta Blue, which is absolutely gorgeous, one of my favourites from Catherine Pooler. Turning my jig now and onto the third colour, which is the Something Borrowed, and that's also a beautiful blue, and then turning for my last stamping and it's onto the Grass Skirt, and this is a beautiful combination. And I add a silver foiled cardstock balloon with the tie and a little hooray with some alphabet letters that I've die cut there from the same colour of card. So on to cards number 3 and 4 here. This time the colours that I'm using, you can see me showing you there the Nuvo Fine Detail Embossing Powder in a copper blush, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just using that on the first layer of stamping. So using my Versamark ink and then sprinkling on this gorgeous embossing powder. It's one of my absolute favourites. It just melts so deliciously, and it gives you this gorgeous blush, coppery blush thickness. I just love this embossing powder. So that's layer number 1. Sticking it back onto my jig in the right spot, making sure I've got it all sorted ready for stamping number 2. And this colour is a Catherine Pooler ink, and it is Orange Twist. So that's stamping layer number 2. Using my chamois from Lawn Fawn in between, very important to really give it a good clean off. Right, moving on then to Samba from Catherine Pooler, again a beautiful red from her, and then the last red is Rockin red, which is a really deep rich red and very striking. So there's the 4 layers, and it's an absolutely beautiful base, this one. I love it, love it, love it. I cut it into 2 and make 2 cards. I love it so much. So here you can see the details that I've added with some patterned paper from a new Sunny Studio patterned paper pack called Striped Silly. And there's my 2 cards. You can see I've used the Hooray there with that same blush embossing powder at the bottom of the second card. And the Hooray comes with the Concord 9th Birthday Basics Turnabout set. And the last card today features another of the Nouveau embossing powders. This one is a beautiful black glitter called Glitter Noir. And the other colours that I very quickly ran you through there were MFT's Grout Grey and Catherine Pooler's Limoncello and Flirty Fuchsia, that beautiful purple. So on with the Glitter Noir embossing powder first of all. Melted that. That was stamping number 1. Now stamping with Flirty Fuchsia for turnabout number 2. Wiping off with my chamois, turning my jig, on with the Limoncello for layer number 3. So 1 and 3 line up there, and wiping off before onto number 4, which of course is the Grout Grey from MFT. And I end up using a great big Simon Says stamp balloon on this card, similar to the one you saw me use on my blog the other day for one of these cards. This is the next smaller one down in that set, and I used the camouflage dye effect on the front of my card with a couple of layers of craft foam, and my last card is finished. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you've enjoyed my 5 cards, and I hope to see you back here again soon.